Hello, Cleveland Police, how can I help?
I'm Sharon Cooney. I'm Superintendent with Cleveland Police. I'm the commander for all of the Northside operations, so that covers Stockton and Hartlepool. I'm in charge of response teams, so those are the people that come and answer the 999 calls and the emergency calls, the burglaries, that kind of thing, so the uniformed response teams on the north side of the river in Cleveland. And I've also got the local policing team, so that's neighbourhood teams, what we call the PCSOs and the local beat officers. So those are the people that solve the problems on neighbourhoods, and you might see walking around and coming into your schools and talking to the children. I absolutely adore my job.
Why?
Because no 2 days are the same. You actually get a sense of satisfaction of realising that you've done some good. You can't always talk about what you've done, but I've dealt with some pretty serious incidents through the course of my career. I've helped people escape dangerous relationships, I've protected children, I've dealt with organised crime, I've dealt with human trafficking. I'm really quite proud of what we achieve here in Cleveland. It's extremely rewarding. It's difficult at times, it's got risks, it sometimes keeps you awake at night. But in terms of feeling like you've made a difference to your family and to the community and to the future of the area, I don't think you can get much better than being a police officer.
I'm Middlesbrough, born and bred. I grew up in an estate called Thorntree. I wanted to become a police officer because of my interaction with a police officer in Thorntree from a young age, and it was a positive one. And because of how the police officer dealt me at that time and the support that they gave, that was it for me. 8 years old, that interaction meant everything, and I want to be a police officer from that day, so here we are. Didn't have the best grades in the world, and I'm not afraid to admit that, but I was good at pragmatic approach. Didn't think I'd get in the police because of them grades, but the proof that the grades are important in school, they're really important, and you've got to dedicate yourself to it and to get the most that you can out of education. But it's not the end. If you come out of education and you feel like you haven't done as well but your dreams to become a police officer, I can tell you right now that you don't give up. You still go through, and there will be a path, there will be a way to become a police officer. It's an exciting job, it's very dynamic, it's forever changing. 1 minute you can be doing one thing and within seconds it can be going down a completely different route. It takes a lot of thinking and a lot of, spur of the moment and decision making.
Police Interceptors, bringing you unrestricted access to Durham and Cleveland's most formidable coppers. It
was great to participate in Police Interceptors, and what it did for Cleveland Police alone, for me, it was nothing short of fantastic. The public will come up to you. And one key thing for me is there is certain people out there who wouldn't generally talk to the police because for whatever reason they don't want to. It might be a hatred for the police, it might be a negative experience I've had with the police. Police Interceptors and that interaction through that programme, these people were approaching you and talking to you. And it was pretty much like it opened the door to certain members of the community that wouldn't generally want to talk to you. And also the children coming up, and that engagement is huge.
A PCSO is a police community support officer, so we're essentially the eyes and ears of the police. You'll often see PCSOs in the local community engaging with our partners, that's schools, youth clubs, shops, churches, other religious buildings, and having that relationship where we build up trust with the community, and that helps us gather information that's going to help us reduce crime and antisocial behaviour. From around the age of 12, I remember having a mentor, and my mentor was studying law. I just remember from that age, I decided I wanted to be a solicitor, and that was the route I went down, and I went to university and I managed to get a law degree. But after a long time studying, I wanted a bit of life experience, so I seen the job for PCSO and I thought I'd give this a go for a while. I really liked being in the community, helping people, and then when the role of school liaison officer came up, I knew that sort of helping young people was where my passion lay. Depending on the role that you want in the police, there's opportunities to progress. There's no reason why you can't have your whole of your career in the police force. But there's also roles within the police that don't involve you being a police officer or uniformed officer, control room answering, forensic teams, IT department. So you can have, you know, a long career here in a variety of roles.
I don't think there's one single person that makes a good police officer. The thing we need is diversity of thinking. You need different people from different backgrounds who've had different life experiences, because that's what makes a good team. And policing is a real team effort. Generally, you go into people in their hour of need and you need to work out the best way of helping them. So an open-minded person makes the best kind of police officer. Someone who doesn't jump to conclusions, who's going to weigh up all the facts, think about the evidence in front of them, and then make a decision, whether that's a fast time decision or a slow time decision. So I think anyone can make a good police officer, provided that they're committed to helping people and to doing good.